It's noon here in Ventnor City, New Jersey, and our nation's capital, Washington, D.C. And this is CarEdge Live for Wednesday, January 22nd, with your hosts, me, Ray, and, that cold-looking fella, Zach. What is going on today, handsome?
I'm cold. It's freaking cold here in Washington, D.C. It's cold in a lot of the United States right now, but you know where is hot right now, baby? CarEdge.com. The reason CarEdge.com is so hot, Dad, is because we just launched our end of January promotion, 20% off CarEdge Insights, and for those of you that are interested, $100 off CarEdge Concierge, typically $1,000, $899. Instead, between now and the end of the month, if we can help you out with anything, folks, take advantage of what we've got going on at CarEdge.com and our end of month promotion. Now, big news coming out of Detroit, Dad. Stellantis commits to restarting Belvedere, building new midsize pickup, rehiring 1,500 workers. It's fascinating. We talked a lot last year about this organization, the United Auto Workers.
Yes.
And all of the work that they were doing with the strikes and things like that to renegotiate and get in a good position with their, obviously, the laborers, the union members, and the automakers. That didn't stop the automakers from shutting down plants and ending up in court. And so we have a consolation or a resolution here, I should say, between the UAW and Stellantis. 1,500 folks getting back on the factory lines, production lines, and Stellantis going ahead and producing a mid-size pickup truck instead of, I don't know, more of those full-size things. So what happened here with the UAW?
And instead of EVs, I mean, they were going to build an EV battery plant next to the Belvedere facility, and I think it's Rockford, Illinois, or Rockport, Illinois. And so they decided, the heck with the EVs. We've already pissed away too much money on those. We're going to concentrate on some more ICE vehicles. And we're going to concentrate on a mid-size pickup truck that, well, when you think about it, should be a tad bit more affordable than one of their full-size pickup trucks. And if we do it right, we can rehire all 1,500 employees from that plant. So I would say, since we've talked about an affordability crisis forever, I would say this is a win-win-win. It is a win for the UAW. It is a win for Stellantis in that they're going to reopen the facility that they had promised to reopen during the negotiations. And it is a win for the American public because there should be additional competition price-wise in the mid-size pickup truck market, which you would think would help drive prices down, or at least keep prices at a more affordable level. So this is a happy story. We don't get to talk about a lot of happy stories here all the time, but this is a good story for every factor.
Yeah, I completely agree. And there's some other good news in here. Changes afoot at Stellantis after Carlos Tavares' departure. This is a direct quote from Sean Fain, who's the UAW president. He says directly, "This victory is a testament to the power of workers staying together and holding a billion-dollar corporation accountable. We've shown that we will do what it takes to protect the good union jobs that are the lifeblood of places like Belvedere, Detroit, Kokomo, and beyond." Excuse me. Reopening the plant near Rockford was seen as one of Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker's biggest economic development successes, along with bringing EV battery maker Goshen to Manteno. These are other, economic developments in the state of Illinois. But Stellantis, that has also come through and said they're going to produce the next generation Durango at their Detroit assembly complex and invest in Toledo, Ohio, where they're producing the Jeep Wrangler and Jeep Gladiator. They're also going to invest in Kokomo, Indiana, and facilities that produces the GM ET4 EVO engine. So we're seeing a lot of good news coming out from Stellantis after the departure of their former CEO, Carlos Tavares. Lots of money being spent here domestically in the United States to produce internal combustion engine vehicles. And Stellantis has been very open-minded, especially Jeep, as to building some vehicles that people actually want versus more of those Wagoneers. They're coming back with the Cherokee, for example. It
is their their way of admitting the error of their previous CEO's ways. The board allowed the CEO to basically run the company into the ditch. Okay. And at a certain point, and I guess that point was November 30th, they said enough is enough.
Yep.
We can't continue to go down this path. And they asked for Carlos Tavares's resignation, which he submitted on December 1st. So it's a big corporation stating publicly, we made some huge errors in judgment, and we are doing everything that we can as quickly as we can to correct those errors of judgment and to move forward in a positive way that will be good for the dealers, will be good for the manufacturer, will be good for the workers, and will be good for the American buying public. So big corporations that screw up can admit it and probably come out okay on the other side.
Now, one of the things that's influencing how these big corporations are acting and behaving are potentially impending tariffs. We talked about this a little bit yesterday. Cars.com had a great article on how proposed tariffs on Canada and Mexico could make your next car more expensive. And you referenced this a little bit yesterday, Dad, but I want to come all the way down here. Bloomberg is reporting that the average price for a new car could go up by $3,000 on the other side of these proposed 25% tariffs. The average transaction price for a new car is already $49,000. We're talking about potentially a $52,000 average transaction price for new vehicles if the proposed tariffs on Canada and Mexico go into place. So the cost of buying a new car could potentially go up. Does that actually make a justification or an argument for you should buy a new car now versus waiting? Like that, I maybe $3,000 is a big deal.
But no, $3,000 on average is a big deal. Obviously, lower priced cars will be impacted less. It might be $1,000 increase, but for those people that could barely afford those entry level vehicles, that extra $1,000 becomes a real issue. Those $80,000, $90,000, $100,000 vehicles, the impact could be $6,000, $7,000.
Yeah.
But the average would be somewhere around $3,000 at a time when affordability is all. I mean, everything you read in automotive news today about what manufacturers are saying, what dealers are saying, what dealer associations are saying, is that affordability for the vast majority of Americans has to be at the forefront of whatever it is we do moving forward.
Yep.
So it's like everybody gets it now. Okay. I mean, it took forever, but everybody gets it now. And just when everybody gets it, if these tariffs were to go into effect, affordability becomes even more of an issue than it had been.
I like the analysis that's provided here from Cars. I'm going to start at the top. Certain automakers could just discontinue models because they decide the cost isn't worth it. That's less likely on options for high margin vehicles that can be optioned to the nines, like the GMC Sierra, Chevrolet Silverado pickup trucks that are partly made in Mexico. But there are quite a few affordable vehicles, for example, the Nissan Kicks and Volkswagen Jetta, that are also assembled there. So the potential impact here could disproportionately affect more affordable options than higher margin content, higher profitability vehicles. VW is particularly vulnerable as its Puebla, Mexico facility that produces the Taos, Jetta, and Tiguan for the U.S. market is one of the biggest VW production facilities in the world. Analysts from Stifel, however you pronounce that investment bank, estimate that approximately 65% of the automaker's U.S. car market cars would no longer be competitive if these tariffs were implemented, reports Automotive News. Whoa.
Yeah, that's, and all everybody's been talking about is, the cost of eggs and the cost of this and inflation. And well, this would be bring additional inflationary pressure in the automobile industry, which we already know is somewhat stagnant and sells around 16 million new vehicles a year. This could impact that number if the more affordable options are even less affordable, when we know that the market is contracting for the number of people that can actually afford to participate. So, yep. I don't know how this is good for the industry, and I don't know how this would be good for the American public, but we shall see. Everybody says, or many say, this is a negotiating ploy to get Canada and Mexico to reinforce their borders. Yeah, maybe, I guess. I don't know. I don't know.
Even take that away. Because what we're talking about here is if these things were to happen, the facts are that the average or the expectation, I can't say it's a fact, it's an analysis that's reported by Bloomberg, suggests a $3,000 increase in the price of cars. Our channel, our purpose here is not necessarily to tell you what is or isn't going to happen in the broader picture. However, in the auto industry, the average transaction price for a car is $49,000, might be $52,000 in a couple months. You should know that, and you should know which vehicles might be disproportionately impacted by these potential decisions. Folks, again, for the month of January, between now and the end of the month, you can get $100 off our CarEdge car buying concierge service. Check it out, caredge.com/concierge. You can see exactly what we've done for our other community members. So there's no smoke and mirrors here. Know what we've been able to save and provide for our other community members. And you can listen in on how we do all the work. That's Ryan. He leads the team. I think I was in there asking him some questions as well. So go check that out, caredge.com/concierge. And please, please, please take advantage of the fact that it is $100 off between now and the end of the month. Now, another big story that ties into how this industry is changing right now, Dad, comes from Ford. Ford was very aggressive in trying to get their dealers. I know this could have been our favorite segment of the show, but we're doing it right now. Ford was very aggressive in getting their dealers to pony up a bunch of cash to become EV dealerships. And now they are reimbursing dealers who spent money for EV chargers. What the heck is going on here at Ford?
Well, here's another big corporation admitting the error of their ways and trying to correct the situation by coming up with ways to reimburse dealers for some of the expense, not all of the expense that they incurred, but some of the expense that they incurred when Ford said, if you want to be an electric vehicle Ford dealer, there are one of two ways for you to do that, and they require different levels of financial commitment. And then shortly after dealers started committing and spending that money, and sales didn't take off the way Ford thought they would, Ford had a better idea, and that was, well, hell, let's just do away with those commitments that we asked the dealers for, and offer EVs to any Ford dealer that might want them. So yeah, I think it's a nice gesture on Ford's part to their dealer body to say, hey, we can't reimburse you all the money that you spent, but we're going to figure out ways to reimburse you some of the money. I believe it's up to $240,000. Some of it will be they'll give dealers an extra amount of money for each EV that they sell as a bonus, and I think it was $1,750 per EV. So even if the dealer sells it at zero profit, ultimately there's a $1,750 profit from Ford. They're going to reimburse for chargers. So there is a way over time for dealers to get back some of the money that they invested. And as one dealer said, who's a Ford dealer and also owns other franchises, he said, Ford's the only one that's reimbursing. So at least they're trying to do the right thing.
I think it demonstrates and shows how challenging it's been to get EV sales to pick up. I'm coming here to CarEdge.com. We're going to the car search, and you already know what we're doing, Dad. Ford. We're going to come down here. We're going to do new. We're going to scroll back down under engine and drivetrain. We're going to choose electric. And let's just take a peek at what's going on here. 2024 Ford Mustang Mach-E, 165 days on the lot. 2024 Ford Mustang Mach-E, 200 days on the lot, 214 days on the lot, 68 days on the lot for this Lightning, 48 days on the lot for that Lightning, 21 and 10 days, 40 days. Those are all relatively new, but you can see a lot of these vehicles. We'll click on this Lightning, for example. A lot of these vehicles have just been sitting, man. This one's got, only a 47 days supply for the 2024 Ford F-150 Lightning XLT. 4-wheel drive, but a lot of these Ford vehicles, let's click on, let's go here to this.
Well, and don't forget Ford suspended production of Lightnings for.
Look at that though, Dad. 35 days supply of the Mustang Mach-E. I mean, these cars are selling like hotcakes right now, seemingly.
You know, and the hot cakes today would be something that's a little over 32 degrees, would feel pretty hot at the moment.
I think this has to do with all of the incentives that they're putting on these vehicles.
Yes, and truth of the matter is, a lot of EVs are selling really well at the moment because, well, you know, when everybody is anticipating that the EV tax credits are going to go away.
Yeah.
So people who want an EV and want to take advantage of those tax credits need to do it sooner rather than later, because we know later doesn't include those tax credits.
That's a really, 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 really good point. That's actually probably what's making these numbers look so good again.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
On the F-150 Lightning, 47 days supply, 52 for sale, 50 have sold in the last 45 days, because people expect that those EV tax incentives are going to go away, the subsidy from the federal government. And Ford stopped production of this vehicle for months last year because it was so
and I think they stopped production for either the last 6 or 8 weeks in 2024, and production wasn't supposed to ramp back up until I think the 6th of January. So, you know, they realized they had too many vehicles. What would be interesting is
look at that, Dad, an $11,000 discount.
Okay. But what I was going to say, what would be interesting is if there was a way to go back to, say, August and look at the same day supply and same sales pace. And I think you'd find the sales pace was a lot slower because the election hadn't happened yet.
Yeah.
The concept of the incentives going away wasn't was a possibility.
Yeah.
But not one that was discussed mightily. And today we know they're going away. So it's, you know, it's amazing what can happen in 6 months' time, how that can impact the market to do something that ordinarily they might not have done.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And we are seeing a lot of automakers choose to not roll out new electric vehicles, Dad. That's been a story that the Automotive News publication has been picking up on. EV launch delays pile up ahead of President Trump's return to the White House. This is an entire article dedicated to automakers like Aston Martin, Bentley, Ford, General Motors, Ineos, Lamborghini, Porsche, Scout, Stellantis, Tesla, Toyota, and Subaru, Volkswagen, Volvo, all postponing their prior commitments to their electric vehicles. We have an article somewhere back on CarEdge.com. We were tracking back when this article from Automotive News was not about delaying their EV launches. It was all about the trillions of dollars, billions of dollars, and trillions of dollars. I think it was something crazy, Dad. It was like $1 trillion that we had tracked that automakers had committed to investing in electric vehicles. And now look at the headline. It's the polar opposite. So this industry is up for, it's having a wake up call right now.
Well, there's two major factors. Yeah. I was worried about Aston Martin as well. So you have to wait till 2026 now or 2027. But whatever, somehow it'll give me the opportunity to save more money so that maybe I could actually afford an eighth of it. Oh, look, there's Rob. One of the things that Rob is doing today is he's spackling quietly. It is a new construction term. It's called spackling quietly. You can hardly hear him. I mean, he's just doing a remarkable job. But when it comes to EVs, there's a couple of things that have happened. Yes, sales are still moving forward. There was an increase in EV sales in 2024 over 2023. The increase wasn't quite as large or as significant as manufacturers had hoped. We know that the federal government is no longer interested in subsidizing people when it comes to buying an EV. We don't know at this point how any EV charging station infrastructure spending might be impacted moving forward. So there's been a few things that have conspired to slow EV sales down to a degree, and so knowing that, seeing that, manufacturers are pivoting, and most of them are pivoting towards a hybrid solution of some kind, which seems to be the biggest ascender in the market, if that's the right way to phrase it.
Yeah, fastest growth area of the market.
Yeah. So I think for the foreseeable future, we will continue to see many, many more vehicles being offered in hybrid versions as opposed to just full battery electric versions.
Super curious to see what's going to happen to all those early adopter EVs when they are trade-ins, and just how low those trade-in values are going to be. So I'm very curious to see what happens to the used EV market, excuse me. All right, Dad, we got to talk about used cars as well, because folks, if you have not been paying attention, I am going to learn how to drive a manual. Okay. And so my dad and I, on the CarEdge dime, I think that is going to be a business.
I think that's the plan. It is.
Explain to folks what we're planning on doing while I got this beautiful Porsche on the screen.
What we're planning on doing is we're planning on finding a 5-speed or 6-speed manual transmission automobile, or even a 4-speed, out there, something classic-ish, to have the company buy, so that we can film content, A, about buying it, B, about getting it, and then C, about, teaching Zach how to drive the damn thing. And we're asking for help from the community to help us find the right vehicles, or vehicle that people think we should get. We're looking at a BMW convertible 6-speed. We're looking at just a number of vehicles. I found the Boxster. There could be any number of interesting vehicles that could make the list that perhaps we should end up buying and utilizing for videos and stuff.
So yeah, we're seeking out input here. We're on Cars and Bids, Bring a Trailer. There were 3 that I found, or that, between me and my dad, we found that I wanted to share today. First was, this one's ending soon, man. This is a 2003 BMW M3 convertible. I think it looks really good. It's got an hour and a half left.
Yes.
And it's at $7,400, which is not cheap. Yes. But, fortunately, we're in a position where we'll be able to make content with it. It should end up like netting neutral for the company. If not, maybe we can make a little bit of money. So that makes me feel better. But still, $7,400 for a 99 BMW that's got, what does it have? 135,000 miles on the odometer. That seems like great.
That
seems great.
Didn't it spend some recent time in Florida?
Oh, this isn't a 99. This is a 2003. Excuse me. Yes, this vehicle is down in the great state of Florida. A little 2003 M3 action, Dad. I don't know. This one could be a winner. Let's see what happens in the next 90 minutes. Another one I found that I didn't get a chance to share with you yet.
Yes.
This is a 99 Z3.
Yes.
5-speed manual. Oh, what a cool looking,
yes.
What's it called? A sport brake? Is that what it's called?
I don't know, but it is one of the most unusual looking vehicles that BMW ever built consistently, and it's great. I think it's a great looking vehicle.
I think it's great looking too. I think it's crazy looking. But this is the 5-speed manual. This one's where we at? It's got a day. Oh man, this one's gonna be way too expensive.
Oh yeah, well, Yeah, that one's going to keep going up in price.
Yeah, that one's going to be way.
But it's a neat car.
Look at the interior, man.
Yeah.
That's wild. And then the one that I'm most interested in.
Yes.
This is over on Bring a Trailer. This one ends in 2 hours and 42 minutes. 43,000 miles on a 1999 Porsche Boxster.
Yes.
So that's got the how do you describe it? The mid-engine layout? Yeah.
You know what? If you scroll through some of the pictures, the one thing that you'll notice on the driver's seat, if you get it, there, that whoever drove this car the most must have had the biggest ass in America. Look how that damn seat has been impacted by previous drivers. It is because you can. I mean, look at that. It is. Look, yeah. I mean, my God, there was a lot of ass in that seat. That's all I'm going to say. But I think it's supportive enough for you as well, so that we could teach you how to drive a stick, and that would be a fun car to learn how to drive a stick on.
I think so, right? I mean, the Porsche vehicles I've driven one Porsche ever in my life, and it was not a manual, obviously. Yes. And it felt like driving a little go-kart. I mean, it handles like unbelievably well.
Yes.
And look how small the wheels are compared to modern cars.
Yes.
This would be fun. This one would be really, really fun.
Yes.
$8,700 though. It's already pretty expensive, but let's see. 2 hours and 41 minutes from now. Let's see what decisions I make.
My guess is that ends up going for probably somewhere around 11.5.
Really? You think so?
Yeah, I think so. It's a 40.
All right. Well,
43,000.
stay tuned, folks. We're gonna need people to watch when we make that content. Otherwise, I'm gonna be out 10 grand and feel like an idiot. And
don't feel like it. It is a marketing expense for the company. Nothing more than that. We will turn that, whatever amount of money it is, we will turn that into more money through marketing, through videos.
All right.
And when we're done with it, once you beat the hell out of it, we'll get you to sign it and we'll sell it.
Sign it. Come on. No one cares about my signature. That's funny, man. All right. From Dreadnought. Thank you, Dreadnought. Would Rob pay $900 to skip the dealership process? I don't know who Rob is, but I hope so. I mean, that's what we do. That's our service. CarEdge Concierge, one of our services. Check it out. Back on the website.
And really, we would only ask Rob to pay $8.99.
$8.99.
Because that's the kind of folks we are.
We've got here down from Matthew. Thank you, Matthew. The Z3 is the clown shoe. You have to get it. Clown shoe. I feel like it's called Sport Brake. Is Sport Brake not a...
I don't know. But yeah, it is referred to as the clown shoe. But I think those are great looking cars. I really do.
Oh, Dad, I was mistaking that with the freaking Jaguar. There we go. I was mistaking it with this. My apologies, y'all. That's what I was mistaking it with.
Okay.
Yeah, the clown shoe car looks pretty damn cool.
The what?
Shooting brake. There we go. Thanks, y'all. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
All right, Dad. That is the show for today. Again, if we can help you out with anything, folks, check it out, CarEdge.com. Our end of month promotion is running between now and, you guessed it, the end of the month. So if we can help you out, check it out, CarEdge.com. And I'll also remind everyone, we've got so much good stuff under research here. We actually now have the free car window sticker tool up. Doesn't work for every automaker, but it does work for Toyotas, and it works for, let's double check actually. It's down here in the FAQs. Where is it? Here we go. What brands are available? Cadillac, Chevy, Chrysler, Dodge, Fiat, Ford, GMC, Jeep, Ram, and Toyota. Soon we'll also include Honda and other brands. GM we have from 2014 and earlier. Chrysler we have from 2021 and earlier. Toyota, we provide information for most of their new and used vehicles. So guys, that's 100% free. CarEdge.com/window-sticker or under research here, free car window sticker. We're working on that. The fastest and slowest selling cars. We've got that here. The best new car deals. See what others paid. There's just so much good research information back on CarEdge.
There is indeed.
So please go check it out. Dad, I need to figure out if I'm flying to New Orleans. My flight got rebooked. My flight got canceled today, rebooked this Saturday. That ain't going to work. So I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do. So I'm going to go work on that.
Weren't you supposed to be flying home on Saturday?
Sunday morning. So I could theoretically take my 7 p.m. Saturday night flight, get in at 9 p.m. Central to then fly back at 8 a.m. Sunday morning, but I don't think that makes sense.
I don't think that makes sense either. Let us know how you make out. We'll be here tomorrow. I'm going to sneeze. Excuse me. Oh my goodness. But I believe one way or the other we'll be back here tomorrow at noon Eastern or 9 Pacific.
Sounds good. I love you, Dad. See you, everyone.
Love you too, handsome. See you, everybody.